Friends and fellow freedom lovers, the online censorship may be coming to a close. In the 116th Congress, in the House of Representatives, now sits a bill, H.R. 4027, Stop the Censorship Act. And this act is designed to go right to the heart of the Good Samaritan provision in Section 230 of the Telecommunications Act. It will eliminate the provision whereby providers are allowed to remove objectionable or excessively violent or obscene, lewd, lascivious content. And of course, all such described content is subjective. What is objectionable to one person might not be objectionable to another. In fact, you could probably take 10 people and get a different definition from each person of objectionable content. Section 230, Good Samaritan Clause, violates the void for vagueness doctrine. The void for vagueness doctrine exists to describe laws that are no good. Laws that are too vague to be reasonably understood by a layperson are no good. They cannot be clearly defined and thus cannot be clearly understood, and thus one cannot know when one is breaking the law or abiding by the law. And that is why such laws must be stricken from the books. Section 230 plays an integral role in the way the internet functions. Section 230 provides that platforms are neutral third parties whereby users can post content and exchange communications, and that the platform is not liable for any communications, any information that users have posted on that platform. The platform is not liable. Section 230 also, as I stated, contains a clause called the Good Samaritan Clause, which allows content providers, service providers, to remove content. They may remove content that they find lewd, lascivious, obscene, excessively violent, or otherwise objectionable. And this is the problem. Representative Gosar from Arizona has proposed to stop the Censorship Act, H.R. 4027, now in front of the House of Representatives, to replace that Good Samaritan Clause to state that online companies, service providers, may remove content that is illegal, and it allows users the right, provides for users the right to sue providers for deleting their content. This is the purpose of the bill. The purpose of the bill is to change the law, to take an existing law and to change only the part that needs to be changed. And the part that needs to be changed is the part that is that's leading to the provision for censorship. So online censorship. And in order for this bill to pass, first it has to pass through the House of Representatives. And that means it has to pass through all the Democrats. And that may be a challenge, because now the Democrats do not champion civil liberties. So it has to get support from Democrats. There is a challenge furthermore with this bill, in that it has been promoted, a civil liberties bill, a consumer rights bill, a consumer rights and civil liberties bill promoted by a Republican. Republicans were typically, historically, back in the 80s when I grew up, the Republicans were pro-war, pro-business. So for me to hear pro-civil liberties and pro-consumer, especially pro-consumer, anti-big business, coming from a Republican, seems very strange for me. It's as uncanny. It doesn't happen. So I'm still trying to become accustomed to this is what Republicans do now. It's completely switched from what it used to be. Now the Democrats are supporting the big businesses. And we have to get this past the Democrats, because the Democrats are in cahoots with all the large social media tech companies, and the social media tech companies rather enjoy the liberties that they have to promote their agenda and to shape public opinion by changing the search results, suppressing voices, and promoting content that they desire. If this bill passes through the House of Representatives, which it may not, it will then be passed on to the Senate. And then if it passes both, we have a chance to have real internet freedom where our voices can be heard. We can have open exchange and dialogue. Discussions can get heated without the social media company coming in and saying, oh, we're going to delete one side of this conversation because it's harassment. That won't hold anymore. The discussion will get heated, and if you can't stand the heat, then get out of the kitchen. So that's the way that things will be if this law passes. Discussion will be allowed to flourish, and as a result, people may learn to value the benefit. Once again, rekindle the benefits of civil discourse so that we can have discussions online and say, okay, you have this opinion, I have this opinion, we have a different idea. Let me see if I can't figure out what your thoughts and ideas are on this and if it makes any sense or not. Because I think here's where we might disagree. We don't have that now. Now we have a lot of cancellation, a lot of censorship, tribalism. H.R. 4027 is a proposal to change that, and it could be a huge game changer. If you have any questions about it, I urge you to look it up. If you have any concerns about it, definitely bring those up. I think it's a great idea to be critical of good ideas. If you think it's a good idea to end censorship, let's look at how they're doing it and what might be doing wrong about it. But I think that this law, if it passes through, could be a huge game changer and would be a massive benefit. And the reason I like it so much is that it works with the existing law. It keeps what we have, which is good. The part of Section 230 that is good. The part that says you can't sue an internet provider for being a neutral third party because they're just having a platform there. You can't sue them because some other user posted content that you don't like. They're saying bad things about you. You can't sue that platform. That's good. You shouldn't be allowed to sue the platform because the platform is providing a space where all voices may be heard equally and considered by all. And if you find content on that platform that is objectionable, you can ignore it. You can write rebuttals to it. You can explain why that content is wrong, false. You can block those people, ignore them, do whatever you like, and basically control how you respond to that content versus how that person who has made that content must be controlled by you or others who may agree with your ideology. I hope that this will pass. I hope that if there are any wrinkles, that good people, smart people, people who really care about freedom and liberty and personal individual sovereignty and culture, the ideals that have built our great Western culture, will scrutinize this bill and find out how it can be improved and bettered so that we can have a free and open internet once and for all.